Hey guys, I am so excited and ready for a September to remember. I have 12 days left until I turn 19, so I am very excited. But before we get into all of the celebration coming up next week, let's talk about this first year of adulthood. Okay guys, welcome to Couch Conversations. Wow, man, this is crazy. Recapping my first year of adulthood, past 12 months have just been filled with so much celebration and adventure and just a whole lot going on if you've been here for a hot minute, because you've seen it. When it comes to adulthood though, I will say my intentionality has definitely increased, and it's not that I didn't have it before, but 18 definitely redefined that for me. Not just simply focusing on what I was doing, but who I was doing it with and for, why I was doing it, how I was doing it, and when I was doing it, especially in this past month as well. I feel like that's my most recent example with intentionality, just with people moving away for college and the friendship vibes changing, just a whole lot. So intentionality, it's always been something that's important to me, but I don't know, it hits different in a way that you can't really explain until you get to this adulting season. And when I do these recaps of a certain age, everybody wants to know the top things I have learned or either reminded myself of. Number one, a huge reminder of a lesson that I've learned previously. There's old people from old stages and phases and seasons trying to come back when they see that you're doing good. They use, sometimes in most cases, an apology to get their way back in because they realize that they're not going to find anybody else like you that can do what you do and give what you give. So, period. There's a lot of good and loyal people that get misused again because they have allowed somebody's "I'm sorry" to define somebody's character that they thought would change, when in many cases it's just the same as before. when they first did you wrong, they just found you at your soft spot and used it for detrimental purposes. You indirectly let them mess with you again. I have learned this indirectly and directly through personal experience and through being a witness, to stand my ground, set my boundaries, because yes, I forgive people, because as a Christian I believe that that is something that God requires and mandates for us to do, to make peace with Him, ourselves, and others, regardless if we receive an apology or not. But some people's behavior back then and behaviors now don't allow me to deal with them the same way, because forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to let them back into your life again to the same spot or position that they once had before, especially if they're not where you're at now, if they don't serve a purpose for where you are currently or where you're headed in the future. Forgiving someone is more about not letting what they did to you affect you, not letting what they've done to you be an all-consuming thought. Number two, this is a heavy hitter right here. Pour into the people that pour into you. Everybody that is currently in my life right now are people that I have the emotional and mental capacity and space for in my life, and vice versa. I actively choose to be a part of their life, and they make that same conscious decision in their involvement and participation in my life. And I respect, appreciate, and value the people that make time and space for me in their lives, and that empowers me to want to do the same, because that there's a reciprocity there. These issues have slowed down significantly, but I have had incidents with people across the board throughout the years where every time I extended the invitation to hang out, there was either A, no response, or B, always a last minute call or message to cancel while getting ready for this hangout. Now, if more than once you don't respond when I initiate plans, you don't care. Like that's just plain and simple to me. That's where I check out once you've checked out. Now, but if you call me the hour before, midway into getting ready, that's makeup, hair, clothes that I am taking time to spend, to do, and put on, when I could still be in my pajamas. I love getting cute, but I'm a homebody, in real life. That problem happened again a second time, and I said not again, because once I get canceled on, it is not my responsibility to initiate the next hangout, because apparently I am the most flexible out of us. So at this point, I'm gonna let you choose. I want to invest in friendships where people follow through and are serious about being intentional with my time. And to make things worse, even after canceling, there was never a rescheduled time frame to make up for this. So yes, we may talk here and there, but no, we don't hang out because I can't let you do that again. You know what? I'll be honest. I am cracking down on this as we speak because I just told y'all intentionality is key for me, and it's something that I value my time and who I spend it with. But I always find it interesting that I get a random call from people who cancel on me, and they talk more to me than I'm talking to them. And it's just the conversation is not balanced, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening and I'm just like, okay. Like, I can't be sitting here for 30 minutes straight listening to you talk and you haven't asked me anything about what's going on in my world, how I'm doing. Like, And then beyond that, we always have several people throughout our lives where you don't hear from them until it's breakup time, and they give you a whole rundown of the breakup and what went wrong. It's like a different person, but the same problem, like a repeated cycle every time. But let's get into my life. Quick responses, emoji reactions, small talk. Yeah, so I've definitely learned where to focus my time and energy the most. And this is why when I get into a romantic relationship, I pray that I am still an amazing friend as I am now. I pray that I will be a good friend just as I am a significant other, because the way I've been done, Jesus. Number 3, an important lesson I've learned most recently, within this year: one-on-one relationships are important, and they require just as much of attention as group friendships do. In high school, for me, there was lots and lots and lots of friend groups. And of course, with me being likable, everybody invited me to the table. So there were friend groups I was in based on classes we had together, similar interests, background, etc. Coming into adulthood, I've shifted from primarily focusing on the friend group as a whole when it comes to hangouts to pouring into individuals within the group while still maintaining that group bond and connection. I gotta say, to spend personal one-on-one time has been a huge blessing, and I've realized how important it is to really connect one-on-one, because there's going to be certain things that you bond over with one in a certain group that the other or others won't necessarily understand sometimes. And every now and then, those one-on-one moments help to just kind of make sure that friends don't feel lost in the vibe, and it serves as a symbol that you care. I don't feel like that is a bad thing at all if everyone's understanding of the intention and the heart behind it. Number 4, this is a reminder, but it's very personal to me. And if you've been here a while, then you understand. But just simply to slow down, be patient, and give myself grace. These past 3 months out of the whole 12 months, more so than anything, has been a constant reminder of this. And my physically challenging season since my 6-year post-op appointment at UAB is a roller coaster, going through waves of pain, being on meds, and just not feeling like myself. Are the moments that I get frustrated because I don't feel like me. Getting my custom made shoe lift and then adjusting to it was a process, okay? I've also had to relearn that becoming the best version of me isn't the normal that I once knew. And that can be hard, especially when the only normal that I know for me physically before surgery is that, and so that's what I consider normal. And so trying to understand that it's also not my fault for where I'm at in this recovery journey. Those are my biggest lessons and reminders of 18 and navigating this first year of adulthood. And now being an adult, I appreciate and enjoy how I've become more family oriented and focused over the years. I live life with the intention of considering family and how certain things would affect them. Not just me, but them as well, because they are literally the greatest part of me. I don't necessarily live my life to please them with every move that I make, because there's always going to be differences and opinions in certain things, or one thing that you may do that others wouldn't, but at the same time, my family is a huge motivation for me. To be completely honest, when it comes to friends, that circle, it is a lot smaller now, but honestly, I love it like that. It's so much better that way. I would rather have fewer friendships that bring me real joy, positivity, contentment, fulfillment, rather to be a victim to those who choose you to use you. Now we're talking about adulthood and shifting gears here. I have been asked about my relationship and love life status. I don't have anyone that I'm interested in at the moment. The ring that I wear on my left hand is my purity ring as a symbol of a promise that I made to God about purity before marriage. And I will honestly say that I'm very much content in the season that I'm in. I already have so much fun being a daughter, goddaughter, granddaughter, niece, sister, bestie, auntie, so that sort of thing. Each hat that I wear, each title that I have, it's very special. I also just started college, so I'm a student too. And so I want to be able to focus on that as well. However, comma, if a relationship just so happens while I'm in college and it's completely all God, then okay, period. Cool. I'm not mad. I won't be mad. But I have made a list of things and qualities and traits that I desire. I know my worth and value, so I'm very satisfied with waiting and not settling for anything less, okay? To not have any situationships, exes, or any drama of that sort in nature is such a blessing, and I'm trying to keep it that way because we are on a mission to a very much God-ordained relationship when the time comes. Monumental milestones that happened while being 18. Well, I went on my first cruise and I traveled internationally for the first time to the Bahamas, which was a wonderful experience during Christmas break. It was absolute bliss for sure. I still go back to the weekend recap episode from the cruise and I scroll through the pictures and videos. It was just so incredible, so beautiful, and I 100% would do it all over again. Another first, I saw snow for the first time, you guys. It snowed in Florida, okay? Winter storm Enzo came through. I still cannot believe that happened. A Florida girl in Florida with snow in her backyard, front yard, street, city. Like, I could not believe what I was seeing. I was just, to be out of school for snow, sleet, ice hazard was just weird but fascinating. That was by far one of the best weeks ever. It felt like Christmas 2.0, to be completely honest. We got to have a tropical Christmas in the Bahamas, and then we came home to literally a white cold Christmas, so it was perfect. And then here comes another first. I went to New York for the first time. It was actually my senior trip, and one of my best friends, who is like a sister to me, got to go as well, and a couple other students went as well from our class, and it was just, oh my word, it was amazing. It was a blast, like, to see the places where movies were filmed and all these historic places that we know about and have seen on TV over the years, over and over and over again. And to see Times Square almost every single day that we were there was so cool. And I still go back and scroll through the pictures and videos of that time and that trip. I can still hear the hustle and bustle of New York and how loud and fast paced it is, and traffic. You guys know I definitely love that slower pace of life, so it was great to visit, but that was definitely a fun trip and I would do it all over again, but in much warmer weather, because when we went in March, it was still cold compared to being here at home in Florida where everyone's at the beach for spring break. You know, I just think that this is a very important milestone worth mentioning while being 18, and that is high school graduation. Being a high school grad and now a college student, that's just like crazy to me. Grad season, oh my word, sincerely a blast. I definitely got overstimulated from all of the celebration and parties because me being an introvert, so much attention on me for an extended period of time, it just got weird. It really did. Like, yes, it was a big deal, and I still am very much proud of myself and this accomplishment, but over time you can only hear the word graduation, grad, senior so much before you just absolutely go crazy and lose your mind. There were so many events back to back, one event right after the other, with recognitions and award ceremonies and parties, but Everything eventually and finally slowed down. I still don't have the words to express, though, how I felt at my grad party, just having all of my close friends and family there to celebrate with me. It was so amazing and dreamy. Like, oh, sincerely one of the best days ever. And then a week after the grad party was the graduation. There was this unwavering sense of like calm, but yet so much excitement knowing that I made it. When you experience a hurricane where you grew up and still live now, then you get a spinal fusion or scoliosis surgery, you lose a grandparent, then comes a pandemic, then you lose the other grandparent, and somehow through all of that still managed to get to the point of walking across the stage. Like, all of that happening back to back, it's rewarding, especially knowing that there were so many obstacles thrown at me. I was given every reason, listed and not listed, from every angle to not finish like I did. Graduating with distinction, like, hey, I have a lot of respect and appreciation for myself. And then this summer, I celebrated my 6th anniversary. Wow, that's another huge milestone. As I mentioned earlier in the vlog, this year I had some physical challenges that resurfaced that were right in front of my face for several months, but it didn't even click until I got the actual medical explanation, and then it all connected, and you know, there goes those pieces of the puzzle that I'm putting together. It was a season and time where I was just frustrated with where I was and being this far along and not feeling like myself in some ways. But once again, the support of family and friends has been so significant in this journey, and it's been so appreciated, which makes me feel loved immensely, as they have celebrated with me, but they've also listened to me talk about the hardships along the way. And lastly, the most recent milestone, starting college. What an exciting chapter and season to walk into. I shared an update about how it's going so far recently, but that was more like the first week of college after those first 4 days. But my routine has been good so far, and this stage of adulthood has been pretty sweet, and there's more updates to come as I get further along. And also, weekend recap is coming soon for this month as well, so I can bet that you're gonna hear about college somewhere in there. But I am proud of all the milestones, the first, and just so much more. I'm proud of how this year turned out. It was definitely a step up. From the very beginning, that's what it felt like, and that's what it was. I can honestly say my 18th birthday knocked it out of the park, and it was my favorite birthday. I can say that now because I'm not 19 yet, so I don't know how this birthday is gonna go. But every year, birthdays didn't excite me much for like a while. My 12th birthday, I found out I had scoliosis, and then I had the spinal fusion, and I lost my Meemaw. Then my 13th birthday was my first one without her. My 14th birthday was in the middle of COVID. 15th birthday was a time of bloodline beef, if you will. Family members couldn't get their act together that year, and so just a lot of whole unnecessary disputes that I was witnessing, and it affected me and relationships within the family. 16th birthday was great, but that year I lost Pop Pop, so Sweet 16 wasn't so sweet anymore. It was more of a blur, because after Pop Pop passed away, I had no clue what was going on. Like, I did not know life without Pop Pop. My 17th birthday, it was great, but it was the first one without Pop Pop, and the first one without both Meemaw and Pop Pop together, which was very weird because as the only grandchild, the only granddaughter, for their princess, every year was a party. So not having that was weird. And so every birthday for a while was very challenging in some aspect or another. It was like the birthday itself was great, but the year to follow was just like not it. But 18 definitely was just a different kind of comeback. It was like more steady, and it's like I have my life back in some way. What am I looking forward to most when it comes to being 19? Well, I'd say just more laughs, more fun, more love, more travel, more family, more friends, more of everything that I already have, honestly, but just multiplied. I'm just excited for what's to come, and I'm here for the ride. 18 8 down, 19 better clear the table. It is go time. 12 days left, and I'm so excited, and I cannot wait. We are celebrating all month long on the channel, and the celebration starts right now. I love you guys. Happy September.